Hey guys, what's up? This is JRP77 from JGN Games, and I'm going to be continuing my tutorial series on how to make a HUD in Unity 3D. Now in the last one we made this health bar up here, and if I go ahead and hit maximize on play, and you will see that the health bar, when I run into him, he starts to lose health. But then I've also got this object set up to when I start shooting him, he loses ammo. But the problem is my gun fires over and over and over again. Now we don't want that, so that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be making the ammo script and making a HUD element that's going to sit right down there for our HUD. But before we get started, don't forget to check out our website. There will be a link in the description or an annotation if I keep remembering to do those. Don't forget to subscribe. If you subscribe, you'll never miss a tutorial, and missing tutorials can be very bad. And then also, don't forget to follow us on social media. Instagram, Twitter, Google+. Instagram is at JGN_games. Twitter is JGN Games, at JGN Games. And Google+ is just JGN Games. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so first of all, we need to make the HUD object. We need to make a display for this. So let's go into the scene view. I've already got it in 2D view. I'm going to click on our HUD canvas. I'm going to game object, UI, text. Now I've already worked out the settings, but for your HUD it may be a bit different. So as soon as it finishes loading, there it goes. We're going to type it in. I personally like to put in null, just because I like to have that there. Now I want the font size to be 30. Now you'll see if it disappears. Now it's actually really annoying, and there's a setting you have to go down and fix. In paragraph, if you go to overflow, it fits, and for some reason it thinks that it's not a word, like it's not in the box, so it masks it out, and it masks out the entire character, not just part of the character. Alright, so now we don't want it off to the left, especially for our positioning, so we're going to go to alignment, and we're going to go to center, and then the center line right here, so it's smack dab in the center. And that font's pretty boring, and we also need this to be white, and I'm going to make this a little bit less than half. So 255, I think we said 130, so I'm going to use 150 as that. We've also got another problem. The font looks really bad, so I'm going to go to here, and I have a font that I use for everything called Recharge. It's awesome. Go check it out. And you can see that we can change the size, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to keep it at 30. It'll look better, but right now I don't know why it's so blurry. Anyway, so now what we need to do is we need to select best fit. But before we do that, we need to position it, because I was getting ahead of myself. My bad. So I'm going to put this right there, because that's where we built it to go, and I'm going to hold down Option and Command so that I can drag around. I'm going to hit Shift Space on this window so that I can go into full screen view. Alright, so now I'm going to position these corners like we did with the HUD. And I liked it right there and right there, because that makes it smack dab in the middle. Now we want to say best fit, and we want to say 10 and 40. So now if we go to game and we play, you'll see that should fit just fine. And it does. We could always make it bigger, and I probably am. I'll make it. So I can make it 100 or something big like that, and you'll see it's too big now. So let's do 60. It's just a lot of playing around. What you like? 60 looks good. I'm still trying to figure out how to scale it down, so when I do my bug fixing tutorial, I will show you guys how to do the scaling down. Alright, so I'm going to save the scene so I don't lose anything, and now I'm going to create our script. So first, I'm going to hit right-click, create C# script, call this ammo script. Alright, now I apologize. I feel really stupid because I messed up on this script so many times that it was always messing up, and now I finally figured out how to do it, and so now that's why I'm recording this tutorial. So I'm going to open up ammo script, and you'll see it opens up in text wrangler. And now we need to do what I usually do and just delete everything. You can keep those functions, but I personally like to just start off with a clean slate. Alright, so now we need to make a reference, but we need to know when the gun is firing. I have a script called gun script, so I'm going to create a public script. I'm going to create a public gun script. I'm going to call it gun. Now the reason I'm doing this is so that I don't have to check if it's firing or not, because I have a variable that is that's like gun that is firing or something like that. And so by using that, I don't have to say input dot get axi dot etc. each time that I do that. I can just use this and see if it's firing. Now we need a public integer for the ammo. So we're going to say public int ammo. Now we need, for reloading, we need an ammo cache. So the way that the ammo cache is going to work is it's basically going to save whatever variable this is. So like let's say we set this to 20. Ammo cache is going to be equal to 20 when we start the game. So I'm going to say int ammo cache. And it's going to be like that so that we can't see it in our inspector. Alright, now I'm going to say, now we need a way to display this. And as usual, we go up here, say using Unity Engine. Golly, sorry guys. I'm going to mute my volume again. And semicolon that. And now I'm going to say public text display. Just like with our health. Now we need a reload rate. We need to know how fast our reload is going to be. Now the advantage of using a reload rate is for different weapons you can have different reload rates. So for the electron gun you can have a reload rate of 5, whereas with an SMG you can have a reload rate of 3. So let's create a public float reload rate is equal to 0f, just because I've had errors in the past where it doesn't like just public float reload rate, so I just put that 0f in there just to be safe. Now we need a bool. I'm going to set this bool, I'm just going to create a bool called reload. This is just to say that check if we're reloading or not. If we're reloading, that'll play a bigger role in a minute, but that's what we're going to need. Also, if you notice in most games, you don't always have to run your ammo all the way down to 0. You can actually, you can actually hit a key most of the time. Sometimes it's R, sometimes it's X on the Xbox 360 gamepad or the Xbox One gamepad. So that's what we're going to add. We're going to create a variable that not many people know about called public keycode reload key. Now basically what this is this is just the this allows us to get a drop down so that we can change this key at any time without having to go into key codes and stuff like that and go back into our script. We can just go to the inspector to change the key. Alright, so now that we've got all these variables, I'm going to save and we're going to jump into coding. So the first thing we need to do is initialize our ammo cache variable. So I'm going to create void start and I'm going to say ammo cache is equal to ammo. Alright, now we need to make our update function. So this is why I say you can go ahead and keep those functions, but I like to start out with a clean slate because I like to do this formatting a ton better. First of all, we need to have our ammo display every frame. Now you don't have to do every frame. You can do on late update or on fixed update or something like that, but for the simplicity of this tutorial, I'm going to use on just the update. So now what I'm going to say is I'm going to say display dot text is equal to ammo dot to string. Golly. Now the reason we have to say this is because this dot text is a string variable and it won't display an integer natively. So we just have to put this line of code right there so that it knows to translate that as a string. It's weird, but you get the hang of it, because I think integers are in binary so that they're stored easily, and strings are stored, I don't know, they're stored differently. So just having that helps a ton. It's one way to have an error. So now we need to figure out if our gun is firing. So I'm going to say if gun.isFiring, and now we need to have some conditions. We also need to see if our gun can fire. So if our gun can fire, and then we also need to check that we're not reloading. Alright. And so if all these conditions are true, then we need to say ammo minus just to subtract 1 from the ammo. Now we might have an error with this, and if we do, I'm going to go back in and fix it. but we're just going to get this done. So then we need to have one more. We need to check to see when we have to reload. So I'm going to say if ammo is less than or equal to 0, or those two, it's on the Mac, it's right underneath the delete key, and if you hold shift, it's those two keys. It's an interesting key, but those are the two lines to use. It's not L's, it's right after the /. Actually, no, the \. Maybe I'll pull up a picture of a keyboard and show you which key it is on a Mac and which key it is on a Windows. Alright, so now we need to say, or input dot get key. Oh, golly, I suck at spelling today. Get key down, and rather than saying keycode.r like you would, I'm going to say reload key because we already established that up here. Alright, now we need to say that we're not reloading, so we can't reload and reload and reload over and over again. So then we just add back on that reload with the and condition. Alright, now open this up, and we're going to start a new coroutine. Now, if you haven't seen coroutines in the past, they're basically like they basically allow you to time functions and have them happen in different moments. So like you could have one line of code happen at time 0, and then you could have it wait 5 seconds, and then at time 5 you could have it wait. You could start the next line of code. So it's a really helpful function. It's not that difficult. I think I made it sound a whole lot more difficult than it actually is, so just bear with me. So the only way I know to run coroutines is to create an I enumerator. Spelled just like that. We're going to call this the same thing as we did in this box right here. So now I'm going to open this up just like a function, and I'm going to say, first of all, we need to make sure that we are reloading. So I'm going to say reload is equal to true. Then I'm going to say gun.canFire is equal to false. This is so that our gun can't fire while we're reloading. Now we need to make it wait. So the way you make it wait, the function wait for the next line of code, is to say yield return new wait 4 seconds. And then you open this up, and this takes a float, so you say reload rate. It can also take an integer, but I just like floats because it's more precise. Now this is between the point in which the gun can't fire, so basically the point, because these two lines will run really quick, then this line will wait for the reload rate time, and then it will run this next line of code. So we're going to say ammo is equal to ammo cache, and then we're going to say gun.canFire is equal to true, and then reload is equal to false, so that we could reload again if we wanted to. Alright, so that's all our gun script is. It's not that hard, but once we get set up, we'll be fine. So now I'm going to jump back into Unity. Whoops, I made one small error. It's not reloading, it is reload. I got ahead of myself. There we go. So I'm going to go find my weapon, which is the electron gun. I'm going to just drag the ammo script onto right there. Now the gun script is going to be the electron gun. The ammo is going to be equal to 10, because that's what I found useful. The display is going to be equal to the only text we have. The reload rate, I like 3, and the reload key, if you hit R when you select it, it will jump down to the key. Or it works especially with the letter keys and the number keys, but I'm not sure about the other keys. Alright, so that's really all we need to do. Let's hit play and let's see how it works. So now you'll see that we've got this 10 right there, and you'll see that there's our problem. My firing thing is messed up, so where it's designed to fire once, and it doesn't appear to fire once, but when you get to the ammo, it does that. So I actually fixed that in my notes, and that's one quick fix, and that is input.get key down keycode.mouse 0. My bad, I thought I was going to try to see if that is firing thing would work again, but apparently it is not. Alright, let's try this. And now you'll see that every time we click, So let's say we had 5 ammo left, and we're about to face the bad guy, and then we hit R. Now I'm actually clicking right now, and then you'll see that 3 seconds later we have full ammo, and when I click, you can destroy the guy, and as soon as I go all the way to 0, I can't fire anymore until it reloads again, and there's my error again. That error comes up with me. I am not sure why that error comes up. It only happens. That's the bug I was trying to fix, and it just came back up again, and that is extremely disappointing. I believe I typed my code as I was supposed to, and that's how it worked. Some reason it messes up, and I do not know why. So I'm going to leave that there. If you guys have a solution to this problem, comment below. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you'd like to see our last tutorial on how we made the health script, click right there. There'll be a little annotation right there for about 10 seconds. Don't forget to check out our website. Annotations are at the beginning and links are in the descriptions. Don't forget to subscribe, and also don't forget to follow us on social media. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys next time.